How you doing? Kevin from JJ Hat Center. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about this little thing here. These around the shop, we call them sweat wicks. Now on jjhatcenter.com we call them something else. They're called a sweat band, just simply sweat band. They're $5. All you got to do is just, do your web order, $5, and I don't even think they're shipping for these. I think we just stick it in an envelope or something and mail it out to you or something, like a stamp. I'm not sure about that. Maybe there is shipping, but in the shop they're $5. They are invaluable. I use them in every one of my hats. Basically, it's a barrier that goes here between you and the hat, and it keeps perspiration from ever touching the hat. When you start sweating up a hat, it goes in the brim, it goes in the crown, this and that, and gets sweated up. There's not much you can do unless it's right here at the band area only. You can change that, throw the band out, get a new band, but it's going to happen again. So prevention is the only key, because you cannot clean this stuff. It doesn't come out. I've tried it all. I mean, try what you can. I've never seen it come out yet. Sweat stains, that old yellow, darkening. Prevention is so easy. The second you start to see a little thing peeking out, it'll either start happening here where the felt meets the leather, or it happens in a stitch. One of your cotton stitches gets a round halo around it, a darkness. That's because the sweat goes through the cotton in these stitches. The cotton's more absorbent and then comes out to the band and starts pooling over there. So you get these little dark spots by the stitches that hold the band on, There's like a few tack stitches around it. Either the perspiration starts there or it starts right underneath here at the base. If you wait and the thing gets dirty, you can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do. So as soon as you start to see something popping up, the hint of it, you put one of these in. Now you're asking yourself, well, why not put it in from the beginning? Very good question. I do not like to put them in at the beginning because they are uncomfortable. All right. Now the leather sweatband is a comfortable. Excuse me, I'm grabbing my hat with the leather sweatband. It's comfortable to wear this because there's leather against your forehead. When you get a little sweaty, you take your bandana. You dry it, no bandana, you turn around up this look and use the end of your t-shirt or something. And it doesn't matter, to put it back on, there's no irritation, there's no red, you're not itchy, it doesn't feel bad, because you're not wet and sweaty. Now this thing, alright, these stay wet, you know what I'm saying? So they feel wet, they don't feel good, but they save your hat. And you get used to it, you just get used to it. In the summer, it's just sort of like, it's like this. You're in an air-conditioned diner, you cooled off, you're nice and cool, no more sweat, you feel nice. Put your hat back on, this thing is still wet and it's cold from the air and you have to put it on. It doesn't feel good, and it's not the most sanitary thing either, so you have to keep changing them, every, 2 weeks, every month, once or twice a summer or more. Buy 4 of them, do it every week. That's a good way to do it. They're cheap. I personally will go through maybe 2 or 3 in a summer, depending, how bad a summer it is. They do take up a little bit of room, but you can trim them. The smaller they are, the looser they are, so you can trim it down. So just where you make contact, which is generally from here to there. That's it. That's the only place I'm touching. I'm not touching here really on the sides. It doesn't matter, I have hair there anyway. Some people who are bald can get a spot up there. The lining will take care of that. Generally, linings can be pulled out. My last video I showed you how to do that. You take it out, you order a new one. We sell those too. They're not expensive. They're like $10 or $20 or something like that. And then we have good, thick, strong linings that work nicely. But the cap banu, or sweatband, or sweat wick, depending where you are on the website, on Amazon, or in our shop, we call them the sweat wick. These things are the only thing that really saves you from your hat being ruined pretty much. I use them because I hustle up and down the stairs all day long at JJ's, and my hats get sweaty. I tend to sweat like in this one area, but not so much everywhere else, unless I'm real hot. As long as I'm wearing cotton. If you notice, I always have on cotton. My t-shirts, my jeans, everything's always cotton. And I can wear a fedora. I have no problem with that. But my clothing, very sensitive, and so this will definitely help me. It keeps my hat from not, giving out in like a year, and my hats last, 30 years or 20 years, or plus. Most of my hats last indefinitely. They just still look pretty good and pretty new, because I keep them going with these. So, sweat will never ever touch your hat if you buy one of these. It's got a peel-off backing. You basically just peel off the sticker. Okay, you put it like, in the front, you center it. I generally take the middle, and I put the middle on first. And then I do each end, one end and the other. Now if you put it on bad and it's not centered, you get a second chance, you can pull it out, do it again, The only thing is if you have a pad in there for a while, if you pull this out, there'll be residue under it, sticky, gum. So yeah, you get 2, 3, 4 chances, whatever, at the beginning if you miss, if you don't line it up right. Once it's in, that's it. You got to take it out and replace it with another one. It's not a big deal. You just don't take it out until you get yourself another one. This thing could last you 10 or 20 years or whatever if you wanted to keep it in there, but we usually prefer not to. Amazon has these things. JJ's has a good deal. They sell them single for $5. Amazon sells them, I think you could get 3, or you could get a big box of them. Don't get the thick terry cloth ones. They're about triple. This thing will tighten up your hat maybe, a half a size or less than a half a size. I don't know, something like that. But the terry cloth ones will tighten your hat up like 2 whole sizes. They're like full terry cloth tennis style sweatbands, so don't get those. Get the cotton type, black, not white. White always gets filthy and looks yellowed and sweaty. It's just bad. The only reason they have white is for transparent looking hats like Panama, so you don't see a black stripe through it. Personally, I don't want anybody to see the inside of my hat if it's got like sweat stains, so I just get black no matter what. JJ's doesn't even order white. It's kind of like yuck. I don't like it. And it just looks like part of your sweatband, Nobody really cares. But your hats last indefinitely and they don't get sweaty. It's like a really good thing. This hat is pretty new. I don't even have one in there, but a good deal of the hats have them. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. My straws, all my straws have them. I keep them just in the front where I sweat, not in the back. This one has it. Sometimes I'll put a big one in the front and a couple of dashes, small ones on each end. The reason I do that is if I ever need to loosen it up, I could loosen my hat up like 10-20% by just taking the ends off of the pads. You just cut them shorter. Generally, if it's going directly on felt, it leaves no residue. There's nothing under there. But if you're doing it on leather, it might. See, it's pretty clean under there. This one's monogrammed too. Look at that. It says Kev and JJ hats. If you come into JJ's as a walk-in, we'll do this. We have one of those antique machines that stamps like this. It's got to be a walk-in. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it as a mail-in kind of thing, but you're going to have to pay for shipping and stuff, we send it to you in a hat box and a carton, so we got to pay for the hat box and the carton and the shipping. So it makes more sense to do it as a walk-in, but yeah, we'll do it if you want. It's called the Van. Van makes these kind of fiery cloud bands out of all different colors. It's got a weird tie-dyeing plus bleaching process combination of both. But it's kind of secret, and he makes these. You got to see the blue ones that look like clouds. You could also get them here in the binding. I have one hat that has 4 different color bindings on the brim, all Van bands. It's amazing. If you ever want that done to your hat, I think it's considered a fancy band change or a regular band change. I don't know. It's like $40 and up for stuff like that. And he'll, get you the bands. You can hand pick it if you want. We'll give you a choice of them. Take pictures of it if you want. Van bands from the hat maker's name is Van, V-A-N. And I think that's about it. Yeah, use these things. The more you use them, the tighter your hat will be. So if you want to go all the way around, your hat will get super tight. So it's a good way to extreme tighten your hat too. So if you, let's say just the weather stripping underneath the band is not enough, you put this stuff on top of the leather in addition to it, and you get really tightening. If you put like 2, 1 on each side going all the way around, it's if somebody's a mega small size, that's a good way to tighten hats. So, but generally just one pad, yeah, it'll tighten you up a little bit, maybe a half size. I trim them down a little bit and you're fine. You wait till your hat is broken in a little bit, and then it's fine. The amount that it tightens it is just like, it almost feels good, Then what happens is you mat it down, and then it starts loosening up again. So I'm not going to say buy your hats a little big for the pad, but just don't use them at the beginning. Use them towards the end of the hat's life, when, not end, but as soon as you start to see a little aging and it's time to pull some preventative measures, I guess. And that's it. That is the Cap Banu. Yeah, on Amazon it's like Cap Banu. If you want a box of them, if you go to JJ Hat Center and call it a sweatband, you just go to jjhatcenter.com, then you go over to accessories, and then after accessories you see the sweatband, and then they're just a black thing in their little package, and that's it. And I'm actually working on trying to develop one of those things for myself, so maybe I could figure out how to make an even better one, but who knows. These things are really nice. The adhesive is super strong. It never really comes out if you don't mess with it. And if you do take it out, it's fine. The hat's fine.